Hey everybody, hope you're doing good today. This is going to be my general opinion on this Swiza knife that I've been testing out for the last maybe 3 days. Overall, I really do like this knife. I like the locking function it has. I like the way it actually unlocks via this sort of button liner lock. Looking down inside the knife, I won't be able to actually show you this, but it has a standard looking liner for the actual liner lock, and the spring for the actual tension on the button is sort of another liner lock. It just has a sort of piece of the liner cut out and it's bent over to actually provide the resistance on the button. Really great design, and I actually quite like it. Even with Victorinox knives, the blade does have some up and down play, which in my past experience hasn't been a problem with Swiss Army knives, so that would lead me to believe that it wouldn't be a problem with this knife either, and it hasn't been for the test that I put it through. If I could change a few things on this, I definitely would. The way the tools sort of sit into the handle, you can see there's a lot sticking out when you're actually using the main blade, but you can see here how right where your index finger would go, it's sort of more recessed, so you don't really feel them when you actually bear down on this knife. One of the things I'd actually change is the actual tension on the tools. So taking for example the can opener, it's very light, so there's not much snap when it goes back into the handle, and when you actually open it up there's not much snap there. It does stay open while in use, so I don't know if it's an actual just personal preference on my part or an actual problem. I'd like to see it more like the maiden blade where it actually snaps open. Besides that, the only other thing I'd actually change about this is the Phillips driver here. During my use with this, I noticed it slipping out of the screws, and I think that's because it comes to such a fine point at the end. If this was just flattened off, and if I owned this knife, I probably would do this myself. Just take a file and sort of flatten off the tip, just so you could actually get in there and it would actually bite more into the screw head. Overall though, I can't say enough good things about this knife. It's been a joy to carry. Just remembering now, I have tried to put, I don't know if you could see that little hole in the end. I thought that might be for a split ring, but I couldn't get even the ones that are on Victorinox knives through there. So I don't know if that's actually a lanyard hole or not, but that's one thing that if they put on this knife, it would serve it a lot more use. So when I keep this in my pocket, you can see the lanyard attached to it. I actually use that to pull it out of the fifth pocket in my jeans. With this one, you can't really put a lanyard on it. So the combined tight pocket on my the fifth pocket on my jeans, and not having a lanyard and the actual grippiness of the scales, this has been tougher to actually withdraw from my pocket for use. Didn't put any use on the actual flathead on this, so I can't speak of that. Didn't put any use on the can opener, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. I have used the reamer awl just to put a couple little holes into thin pieces of wood. Didn't really record that. I didn't want to put too much into one video. The video I did put out was like 24 minutes, so I figured that was good enough. During my use with this knife, there's no damage to it. Maybe during batoning, I put a little bit more blade play than this knife came to me, but still it's acceptable by my standards, and I'm pretty lenient when it comes to that sort of thing. The only other thing I would actually change about this is the tool set. So this is the largest tool they have, and it has the flathead bottle opener, smaller flathead up here with the can opener. It has the Phillips, and then your blade and the reamer awl. I'd love to see a set of scissors on this, and I'd love to see actual bigger tools for this, like something in comparison to your Deluxe Tinker by Swiss Army. maybe in the future, because Swiza is still a fairly new knife company. They've been around a long time for watches and luggage and leather goods and that sort of thing. So it's going to be really exciting for me to watch this company grow and actually see what improvements they do with this knife. I love the forward cant on this blade. It makes food prep absolutely awesome. Carving wood, all that sort of good stuff, makes for a really good EDC knife and out in the woods knife. So that's been my general opinion on this. Oh, one other thing, I'd like to see a toothpick on here. Actually, because I do use the ones on my Victorinox, and come to sort of expect that tool to be there. Not only for sort of cleaning my teeth, but actually just using that as a small poking tool or a small light scraper when I don't want to actually use something metal to scrape with. During use, and this will be the last thing I say, I did put a few nicks into the driver here just from turning screws, so maybe the actual tool set could be a little bit harder. Don't know over time, over a few years, if you kept using this, if it actually just cut that so much that you wouldn't be able to get a grasp on a screw. But that's going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. For the price of these run for about $59.99 Canadian. Would I buy one myself for that? I definitely would. I'd probably get this exact same model, in fact. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like the testing video, and I hope you like this one too. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll definitely be putting some more out this week. Thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for watching.